Experts say the United States is moving surprisingly fast toward an important goal, producing all of our own energy. It's a milestone with huge implications for the U.S. economy, global politics, and jobs here in Texas. Fox 4's Dan Godwin takes a look in this week's Fox Forward.
For decades, we've been hearing about the importance of the United States cutting its dependence on foreign oil. Well, that day is apparently coming sooner than a lot of people might expect. Bernard Weinstein is a professor at SMU's McGuire Energy Institute. Thanks for coming in.
Glad to be here.
So just last month, the International Energy Agency releases a report saying the United States will surpass Saudi Arabia to become the world's #1 oil producer by 2017. You agree with that assessment?
Well, it can happen. It can happen as long as we have public policies that encourage oil development.
So we are getting better at extracting the oil supplies that we have in the United States.
Well, what's happening is that we're using the hydraulic fracturing technologies that were eventually applied to natural gas production to get oil from shale formations around the country. And that's where most of the boost in U.S. output is coming from.
Although fracking, that you refer to, as it's often called, a controversial practice, there are people who have environmental concerns and things like that. And this story from the International Energy Agency about our status as an oil producer, that has some people thinking more optimistically about our energy future and the U.S. economy and our position in the world. Does it give you, though, that same kind of optimistic feeling?
Oh, absolutely. And unfortunately, there's not enough public recognition of the fact that the United States is once again the world's energy kingpin. If you think about it, we're #2 in natural gas production, we're #2 in oil production, we're #1 in coal production. We've seen significant investments in renewable energy. So I think the future for energy overall is very, very bright, and that means lots of new domestic jobs.
That's right. As far as the economic impact of all of this, will certain states benefit economically more than others? For example, Texas, where we already have this big energy industry.
Oh, there's no question that Texas is benefiting tremendously, both from gas and oil production from our various shale deposits. We're also seeing states like Pennsylvania and West Virginia, who had not traditionally been thought of as oil and gas producing states, coming on stream today. You know, a decade ago, the perception was that we were energy poor. Now we're finally recognizing that we are energy rich. That has tremendous geopolitical implications. It also has important implications for our competitive posture. Cheap and abundant energy is making U.S. manufacturing more competitive than it's ever been. That's why you read about companies who had outsourced, who had moved production abroad, bringing it back home, because our energy costs are so competitive.
All right, Professor Weinstein with SMU's McGuire Energy Institute. Thank you so much for the chat.
Glad to be here.